Okay, so try and picture this. You know, the vast, unforgiving wilderness of Alaska. And underneath all of that, the mountains, the endless tundra, the glacial ice. There's this. The secret supposedly buried there. The secret's so old, so profound, it could completely change how we see human history. We're talking about a structure, apparently. But not just, a ruin, no, a massive, ancient, maybe even still active machine, buried deep, supposedly bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza, and like way older than recorded civilization. This thing isn't just a monument in the stories, it's an alleged power source, maybe built by some advanced ancient civilization, or maybe visitors from the stars, designed, they say, to channel these incredible, almost exotic energies. So tonight, we're doing a deep dive into this whole conspiracy, the Black Pyramid of Alaska. We'll look at the seismic stuff, the alleged government cover-ups, the whistleblower accounts. I mean, what if humanity's just been walking around with blinders on, totally unaware of what's right beneath their feet?
It's definitely an extraordinary set of claims, absolutely. And you're right, if any of this were actually proven true, it would force a complete rewrite. History, archaeology, our whole place in the universe, really. The core idea here for the believers isn't just some dusty old relic. It's about a potential source of immense unexplained power. And the implications, well, they're staggering. For the planet, for our timeline.
And the modern story, the legend of this Black Pyramid machine, it really gets going in kind of an unexpected time and place. 1992, that's when China was conducting a series of underground nuclear tests.
Right, big ones.
Exactly. And the shockwaves from those detonations, they rippled right across the globe. Seismographs everywhere picked them up, including one station, supposedly at China Lake, California. And that station allegedly recorded something, well, anomalous. As the seismic waves passed through a remote part of Alaska, reports say they revealed the signature of a massive geometric structure deep underground. So, okay, these seismic waves, they map out this huge, perfectly geometric thing. From a scientific angle, how genuinely weird is that? A perfectly pyramidal seismic signature. I mean, could natural geology ever really mimic something that clean, that artificial looking? Or is this truly the smoking gun proponents claim?
That's the crucial point, really. Seismic waves, they bounce off different layers of materials inside the Earth. They give us a kind of blurry X-ray view. Now, for those waves to outline a perfectly pyramidal shape, especially one on such a massive scale, that is, highly unusual, very anomalous. Natural formations, they tend to be irregular, folded, fractured, not perfect geometry. So yes, a perfect geometric signature strongly suggests something artificial, which is why this initial seismic blip, if it happened as described, is the absolute cornerstone of the whole theory. Of course, officially, geologists would almost certainly classify any such reading as just a weird natural formation until someone, digs it up and proves otherwise.
Right, the perfection is the key. And its alleged location, somewhere between Mount McKinley Denali now and Nome. Vague but remote. And the characteristics described were just astonishing. Perfectly pyramidal, sure, but enormous.
Right.
Reports said at least twice the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Which is just mind-boggling from an ancient construction perspective.
Totally. But here's the kicker. Completely invisible. Not sticking out of the ground, not on any maps. Hidden, buried, and yet the seismic data supposedly showed it. And what apparently happened next just piled on the mystery. Word gets out to U.S. authorities, allegedly, and boom, access to that specific seismic data gets restricted. Reports supposedly vanish. And then whispers start. The military quickly cordoned off the region. It really makes you wonder about the level of secrecy, doesn't it, if it happened?
It does. And that size comparison to Giza immediately catapults it into a different league. It makes it something beyond any known ancient human capability, according to conventional history. And yes, the alleged swift government reaction, the data suppression, the cordoning off. For conspiracy theorists, those are the classic signs that confirms their belief that there's something real, something world-shaking being actively hidden. It implies, a deliberate cover-up, not just standard procedure for an odd geological reading.
But even with those alleged efforts to keep it quiet, the story didn't die. Not at all. Years later, the whispers got louder. They started reaching people like Linda Moulton Howe, the journalist known for looking into unexplained stuff.
She's been a central figure in collecting these accounts.
Right. And she started getting testimonies, people claiming to be insiders. We're talking military contractors, engineers. Even a former soldier came forward, apparently. And what's striking is how consistent their stories allegedly were. They all talked about a black underground pyramid deep in the Alaskan wilderness near the Yukon River Basin. And they described its construction, made from some kind of dark, stone-like material unlike anything known to modern science.
That detail always stands out.
Doesn't it? And then, another key claim. The US military has supposedly been secretly studying this thing for decades. One account was really vivid. A whistleblower said he was flown into the area, super high security, didn't see the pyramid itself, but saw the approaches. Cavernous tunnels bored into the earth, reinforced with steel, descending towards something vast.
Just the tunnels leading to it.
Exactly. And then another witness
That it was actually active, emitting power.
Yeah, said it wasn't just architecture, it was a machine still active, still emitting power, like a frequency they could measure but couldn't explain. That just shifts the whole paradigm, doesn't it? From old monument to living ancient tech.
Well, stepping back for a moment, the power of consistent stories from multiple, supposedly independent sources, that's very compelling in building any narrative, especially a conspiracy theory. It creates coherence. But we have to be critical here. Verifying anonymous whistleblower claims in these kinds of alleged secret projects is, well, it's incredibly difficult, bordering on impossible without hard proof. So while the stories are fascinating, they remain unproven anecdotes. And that description, a material unlike anything known, it's incredibly provocative, isn't it? Scientifically, you need samples, analysis, peer review, all things missing here, of course. It points either to, well, an alien origin or some forgotten human civilization with engineering skills far beyond anything we currently imagine. That's why it's such a potent part of the theory.
So, okay, if we entertain these claims, even just for a moment, that makes you ask, what would an underground pyramid even be for? We usually think pyramids like Egypt equals tombs, right? Or maybe symbolic structures.
That's the standard interpretation, yeah.
But the Black Pyramid theory, it totally flips that script. Theorists suggest it was built as an energy generator. Like, imagine a massive device pulling electromagnetic power right out of the Earth itself, focusing it, maybe amplifying it, transmitting it. And think about Alaska's geology. It's apparently really rich in these things called telluric currents.
Natural flows of electromagnetic energy in the Earth's crust.
Exactly. So what if this pyramid was built right there, specifically to tap into that energy, to harvest it? Could it have been like a wireless power station thousands of years before Tesla even dreamed of it? Or maybe a beacon, broadcasting energy to ships, ancient settlements, even spacecraft? And the theories keep going. Maybe it was a stabilizer for the planet's energies, or some kind of ancient fail-safe device left behind. It really forces you to rethink what ancient technology might have looked like.
It does raise a fascinating point. Telluric currents are real. That's established science. And the theoretical possibility of harnessing that energy, perhaps using resonance or specific geometries, well, it's explored in some fringe science areas. We certainly can't build a giant pyramid generator now, but the basic concept isn't pure fantasy. What it implies, though, if true, is an almost unbelievable level of sophistication from the builders. Their understanding of planetary physics, geomagnetism, it would have to be vastly beyond anything we credit to ancient peoples. We're talking pushing technological history back. Oh, way back, tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of years.
Which leads right into the next massive question. If it's real, who built it? Who on Earth, or maybe not on Earth, could have done this? You basically get two main camps in the theories. First, maybe a lost, forgotten human civilization. Super advanced and megalithic building, energy tech. Maybe wiped out by a cataclysm or an ice age, leaving just this buried machine. Imagine a culture building something twice the size of Giza, millennia before Sumeria or Egypt even got started. Or the other big theory, the ancient astronaut idea.
Always a popular one in these kinds of mysteries.
Right. That maybe extraterrestrials visited Earth long ago, influenced early humans, maybe left behind some tech, and this pyramid could be part of that legacy. Or maybe even an ongoing project. People connect it to other pyramid sites globally, Egypt, Mesoamerica, China, even those controversial Bosnian structures, like maybe they're all nodes on a planetary grid.
A global network.
And Alaska's Black Pyramid is the hidden northern anchor, still humming away. And remember that material, the dark, stone-like stuff, described as unlike local geology, maybe not even of this Earth, resonating with strange frequencies, suggesting it's crystalline or engineered.
The idea being it's not just strong rock, but its structure, maybe like a crystal lattice, interacts with energy in ways we don't get.
Yeah, like the material is the technology, not just housing it. Makes you wonder.
Exactly. An engineered material implies deliberate design at a molecular level for a specific function, not just something dug up and stacked. If that were true, it'd need a whole new look at material science.
And then there's the whole UFO angle, which just adds another layer of weirdness. Alaska is famously a UFO hotspot. Pilots see weird craft, strange lights doing impossible maneuvers. And the Alaska Triangle, right? Where planes and people have just vanished.
Persistent phenomenon up there.
So could that all be connected to this alleged pyramid? UFO researchers definitely make that link. Maybe the pyramid sends out a signal, like a beacon, drawing these craft. Or maybe it's a power source for them, like a hidden charging station. There's even the really chilling theory that it's not ancient at all. Or not just ancient, that it's an active alien outpost under the ice and tundra, and the military knows, and they're monitoring it. People near the supposed site have reported weird stuff. Low humming noises rumbling from underground, electromagnetic interference messing with compasses and radios. Some even claim they've seen lights rising out of the ground, like craft launching from hidden doors. It forces you to consider, what if there is a non-human presence, past or even present?
It's certainly a convergence of intriguing elements. You have the alleged seismic finding, the whistleblower stories describing this active machine, and then this long, persistent history of UFO sightings and disappearances, all kind of clustered geographically. Now, scientifically, you have to be careful. Correlation isn't causation. Many UFO reports have mundane explanations, military tech, weather phenomena, natural lights, but the sheer persistence of the unexplained in that specific region, when combined with the pyramid theory, well, it creates a very powerful narrative for those inclined to believe. And if you entertain the idea that the black stone isn't just inert material, but part of the technology, maybe even what some call conscious material, capable of storing or processing information, well, that just blows conventional archaeology and physics wide open. It demands entirely new ways of thinking about what could have been built, how and why, and by whom.
Which brings us right back to that huge question. If there's any real evidence for this Black Pyramid, why isn't it headline news? Why isn't it public knowledge? Well, the conspiracy theorists have a one-word answer: control.
The power dynamic.
Exactly. They argue that if the world learned about this thing older than Egypt, bigger than Giza, possibly alien tech buried in Alaska, our whole reality would just shatter. History, religion, science, everything gets overturned overnight. And they say certain groups, governments, religious bodies, maybe big corporations have a vested interest in keeping our timeline neat and tidy, manageable, a lost super civilization, real alien tech that messes up the established order, challenges authority.
It would certainly be disruptive, to say the least.
So the theory goes, the pyramid has to stay hidden. Whistleblowers get silenced or discredited. Journalists investigating hit dead ends, the site itself, guarded, maybe disguised as a military base or just restricted wilderness. But the theory continues, the Alaska Pyramid isn't alone in being suppressed. Look around the world, they say. China's hidden pyramids, authorities denied them for ages. Some are huge. Bosnia, those hills some researchers swear are giant, ancient, artificial structures, dismissed by mainstream archaeology. Central America temples aligned with stars with uncanny precision. It all fits a pattern, proponents argue. A potential global grid of ancient monuments. Aligned celestially, maybe built as one unified system.
A planetary network.
Yeah, and maybe the Black Pyramid is the missing piece, the northern keystone holding it all together.
Well, looking at the bigger picture, this idea of suppressed history, it's a theme that pops up again and again in these kinds of grand alternative theories. And the potential impact on established institutions, it's undeniable. It speaks to that fundamental human tension between sticking with what we know and embracing potentially reality-altering new information. What's also fascinating is this recurring idea about Earth's natural energies. You know, Philaly lines, geomagnetic currents, resonance frequencies. Basically, the planet's subtle energy grid. There's a persistent notion that ancient cultures understood this stuff, knew how to tap into it in ways we've forgotten, like planetary scale feng shui, almost. So the energy grid theory suggests the Black Pyramid is deliberately placed on a major energy vortex, a spot where these telluric currents cross or are particularly strong, allowing it to amplify and maybe transmit that power, with other pyramids globally acting as receivers or relays. But some theorists push it even further. What if it wasn't just about electrical power? What if it was about consciousness?
Wow. Like linking minds.
Yeah. Exactly. A planetary network designed perhaps to elevate awareness, connect humanity psychically, or maybe even link us to the cosmos. If that were the case, the Black Pyramid wasn't just a power plant, it was a lighthouse. Guiding ships? Sure, but maybe guiding souls too. It definitely challenges us to think, What fundamental truths about our planet, about our deep past, might we be completely missing?
So whether it's just a compelling modern myth or something incredibly real hidden beneath the ice, the Black Pyramid of Alaska really embodies the ultimate conspiracy. It suggests our past isn't what we think, our present might be controlled by deliberate silence, and our future. Maybe it depends on uncovering truths buried in ice and shadow. If the stories hold any water, it's not just a monument, it's a message from whoever came before, or whoever came from beyond.
It really is a profound challenge, this whole mystery. A challenge to how we understand ourselves, our history, our place in the grand scheme of things. It encourages us, I think, to keep a critical mind about the histories we're taught and always wonder, what else might be out there? What else might be hidden? Maybe the real question isn't even whether it exists, but if it does, are we as a civilization actually ready to hear what it has to say?